So apparently a lot of interior designers think that AI is going to replace their creativity. But here's the thing, I actually think it's the opposite. I think that interior designers who's going to be successful in the future won't be the one who avoids AI, but they know exactly when and where to use it. For me, AI isn't there to design a project for me, but it's there to replace the tasks that used to take hours or things that we used to outsource them and it was really expensive, so that I can save time and money and actually spend my own time on something that I really enjoy. One of the tools that I use almost for every project is called Rendair. It's an AI workspace specifically built for an architect and interior designers. I use it to render my SketchUp model, test different materials and furniture, add people in, rescale the size. And now with their new board feature, you can collaborate with your team or with your clients all in one place from the very beginning. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Mia. I'm an interior designer based in London. And in today's video, I wanted to show you guys my real interior design project, client workflow with Rendair using residential project I've recently done, and show you how I use AI to render, test different design options, change materials, and deliver a final proposal. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in. So this project was for a couple based in Vegas. They just bought this amazing, beautiful home. These furniture came with the property, but it belonged to the previous tenant. So they wanted to refurnish and restyle, redesign the space to make it feel like their own home. The brief was to create a modern, warm, Japandi-influenced interior that felt luxurious, but still lived in. Somewhere that felt calm, timeless, and reflected their lifestyle without changing a lot of the architectural elements. They wanted to have a fireplace centered around this existing TV as a feature of the space, but they hadn't really found any reference images or inspiration before we started this process, so they wanted to develop a design with me. And from this conversation, I knew that we had to start designing from the fireplace, as this was going to be the permanent design that was going to be fixed and that was going to set the tone for the rest of the space, compared to things like furniture where you can change things later on. I also knew that for fireplace, I had to present some design options and variations before we went to the final rendering. At this stage, we have already done the space plan and agreed on the layout. So the next step for us was to move on to the mood board and concept direction and eventually start visualizing the space. And this is where I start using Rendair. I basically have my screen in front of me and I've already logged into the app, and this is what you see when you log onto the home page. On the left, you basically have home, explore page where you can discover what other designer has designed, chat where you can literally ask anything and create images from text, and apps where all the magic happens. By the way, I'm not gonna go into everything today, but if you need a starter guide on all the apps and features on Rendair, check out my previous video where it might be a good foundation to start. But today, the first thing I'm going to do is to open this new feature called Boards. This is where you can invite your client or teammate and share everything and collaborate. You can basically choose whether your collaborator can either view or edit. If you want your client to, let's say, comment or bring their own images, you can make sure that you tick the edit button so they can start collaborating on the board together. You can basically see all the stages I took for this project to get to the final render. You basically have different tools here to create the board interesting. So you have like a pen tool, eraser, you have text that you can add titles, comments, and so on. You also have like frame where you can categorize some areas. You basically have all different shapes to create like a really interesting board and make your presentation either more workshop vibe or more like organized vibe, up to you. For example, you can upload your project assets, site photos, measurements, space plan options, and this is great because you can basically come back to when I need to. Then I can also create mood board and concept directions and share with my client, and basically now she can comment on it whether she liked it or not, put like a cross mark, check mark for me to understand what she liked and what she didn't like. You can see that now I've invited Elida onto the board and now she's commenting on her favorite materials. I can basically go to cursor chat and type in hello Elida, and like we can basically communicate without seeing each other or being on a board. She left a comment, for example, and basically I can reply to her or click on the emoji and reply to her on emoji. And I've also have like these like furniture list and material list next to it where you can link the product. And this is also great because now the client can go into this board and basically click to the link and they know exactly what they need to buy. And based on all the feedback I received on here, I wanted to move on now to the fireplace design. I basically designed and modeled in SketchUp, few options, and now I'm bringing in some of the screenshot view from the SketchUp into Rendair. And this is where the magic happens. So basically what's crazy is that in the board, you can basically do any like app features that Rendair can do all in the board. So what I mean by this, you click the image and you see this generate tool. You also have edit, but I'm going to use the generate tool. And basically I can click this image to render and type in render this image in natural daylight. Do not change anything else. I can basically select the rendering model. Once I've selected, I'm going to start generate. And this is basically the image after the generation, which is pretty realistic. And also I can show this to my client live. And let's say my client wanted to see other options. You can basically see that she commented, I love this one, but let's use another material on the fireplace. What you can do is click on the image and drag to this like orange thing. Then you're going to find this image to render. Then this window comes up. Basically this orange image of the base is already connected to the image to render window. And then you're going to connect this material image and then drag this line all the way down to the material area. And now you can basically change this fireplace material to the reference image attached. And basically now you can see the variation, which is crazy. Then after we confirmed which direction on the fireplace we wanted to go, I further developed the SketchUp for the whole living room and re-uploaded the SketchUp views into Rendair. Now we're going to do the final render here. So it's the same process as last time. We're gonna click into the image, go to generate, and then we're gonna use this image to render. The first thing I'm gonna prompt is render this living room, do not change or add anything else. And I'm going to select everything else and hit generate. And this is what it comes out with. Pretty realistic, and I'm really happy with the outcome. Let's say that my client saw this visuals and she wanted to change few materials. I can go to edit and basically do the change material. And basically on the prompt, I'm going to write change the material of the sofa to this striped fabric as image, do not change anything else. What you can do is now drag and drop the image of the striped fabric that you want, and I'm going to hit generate. And voila, this is what it does. It kept everything else as it is, but only the sofa fabric has changed, as you can see. And for example, I can further change the materials by clicking into the change material. Now I'm going to ask to change the material of the lounge chair in the sheepskin fabric as attached. I'm going to mention do not change anything else as well. I'm also going to bring the reference image as before, just drag and drop and then hit generate, and let's see what it does. And voila, here we go. We have a really beautiful image of like just the lounge chair changed to sheepskin, which is so fantastic. The other option you could do is now go to edit, and then we're basically going to edit canvas. What I want to basically do is now replace the lounge chair to something else, as maybe my client wanted to see some variation. What I can do is basically go to brush mark as what is shown here. I'm going to select the bigger brush, and on the prompt I'm going to say change the lounge chair to one attached and do not change anything else. I'm going to drag and drop the furniture image that I want and hit generate. Voila, it changed just the lounge chair, which is crazy, and it's so realistic, isn't it? So I'm super happy with the outcome. Another thing we can explore is adding people. So you can select populate render, and then basically I just prompted add a couple watching TV, hit generate, and this is what it does. It added the image to the TV. The couple is watching a TV, and I'm really happy. Another thing you can do is extend the image. So this is very straightforward. It just expands the canvas. So this is great when you want to see a little bit further of the space without remodeling. AI can just understand its like spatial requirements. So I think this is really great. And that's how I pretty much use AI Rendair in my design workflow. By using Rendair, I can visualize my render faster, communicate to my client better, collaborate with my team or with the client, and ultimately spend more time on focusing on the things that I actually enjoy in the interior design process. If you also have been curious to try out Rendair yourself, I've linked in the description below where you can sign up and use use my code MIA10 to get 10% discount. So make sure to check it out. And I also wanted to make a little bit more fun this time. So Rendair has kindly offered one person who's going to comment on my video to get a completely free 1 month pro account. So make sure to leave a comment on this video today. I think I'm gonna give about like 4 weeks, so one lucky person will get free pro account. So yeah, do it now. No, but seriously, I would love to know how you found this video or how you use AI into your interior design workflow. I'll be curious. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future content from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.